Thank you, Andrea, and a very welcome to all of you. My name is Tom, this is Stephen, and we're going to talk to you today about Insights 2020. You probably have seen yesterday the presentation of Frank and Christina Jenkins from LinkedIn, but we're going to dig a bit deeper into the Insights engine part of that presentation. Before we start, one remark about your smartphone or about your tablet. Please use it. Take pictures, Twitter stuff around, but the reason for this remark is the following. If you could open your browser and connect to the following URL, because we need your help during the course of this presentation. It is pollev.com, pollev.com/Insights 2020. Yeah, I will do it again, and it will appear on the screen later on when you need it. pollev/Insights 2020. You're asked to download an app or not now. Please choose not now. That's the easiest way. And we will come back to you once this is relevant.
All right, so a quick reminder, if you go one slide back, reminder, refresher from the keynote yesterday. We looked into the dimensions and the drivers of customer-centric growth, right? Frank and Christina talked about customer-centric growth. Has three key dimensions. So first one, the external one, where delivering a total experience to customers is really key to drive customer-centric growth. The second one is more the internal angle of really being obsessed with your customer. So customer obsession in your culture, in your internal processes and everything. And finally, and that's what Tom said we're going to zoom in on today, is the Insights engine. So the strategic use of the Insights and Analytics function, department and thinking to drive customer-centric growth. And one last reminder is that customer-centric growth or customer centricity is not something you do on a Tuesday or Thursday. It's really a strategy that drives your business. So customer-centric growth is a strategy that you really need to grow your business in terms of structure, capability, strategy, leadership in everything you do. So that's a quick, I guess, recap of what we did and what we saw yesterday. And now back over to Tom.
Yeah, so customer-centric growth, to achieve that, it's not an activity, it's a strategy. It takes time to get there. And what we found in Insights 2020, there's lots of potential for insights and analytics as a concept, but also as a department, to be a key enabler for that customer-centric growth. And I have one example, because it's in the what you do and how you do it. One example from the Second World War. In the beginning of the Second World War, the intelligence people of the Americans outnumbered the Germans with 10-3. But the Germans were twice as effective as the Americans. And the reason for that was that the Americans were just gathering and collecting data. They were storing it and not doing much with it. The Germans were able to give meaning to that data, so they could put it into action almost immediately. And that was the real difference that was made. So now I'm going to take you to a different part of this presentation. And for you from the UK, I'm not Chris Tarrant. From the people in the US, I'm not Regis Philbin. And from the people in the Netherlands, I'm not Robert ten Brink. But who wants to be a millionaire? We're not having an hour. But I do have a bunch of questions, and we do have $1 million to go through.
And someone who wants to be a millionaire, so that would be me then.
Stephen, you're volunteering?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. May I have a big hand for Stephen? Thank you very much. We directly go to the first question, Stephen. Do you feel comfortable?
Well, not really. A bit nervous, but let's get it, yeah? Let's start.
Let's see how it goes. So the first question for you, Stephen. Which soccer team in Denmark is managed fully by statistics and became champion of the Premier League in Denmark last year? Is that FC Copenhagen, answer A. Is that B, Midtjylland? Is that C, Südjylland? Or is that D, Noordjylland?
Wow. Okay,
We start with a simple question. This is the question for $100.
Doesn't look like a $100 question, but my Danish is not as good as it used to be. But actually, I know about this because I read about it in the newspaper. It's the same as the movie Moneyball, right? Where they manage a whole football team around statistics. I'm going for B.
You're going for B?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what the answer is. And the answer is B. You're right. So the first $100 are earned. So let's go back to what was happening here. Unlocking the power of data is a very important part in becoming more customer-centric. You see on the left-hand side a very famous football player and trainer coach, Johan Cruyff. And he does almost everything on intuition and expertise. But certain things cannot be felt or cannot be seen by a human eye or by human feeling. So what Midtjylland did, they used data and analytics to make the invisible, they made it visible. And that's how they were able to become the champion in Denmark, and they even kicked out Southampton in the Europe League last month. And I have another example of this. That is, a couple of years ago, for the ESOMAR Congress in Amsterdam in 2011, we had Mark Lammers, the national coach of the Dutch hockey team. And what he started to do was putting GPS trackers on the back of the players. And he found out that the longest sprint run during a match was only 80 meters. Why? They were always training for 120 meters. No one was aware of it, but making use of data, he could change this and adapt their training to it. So let's go to the second question. You still okay?
I am.
Good, good. So you saw yesterday the model that we described. We showed you 3 drivers of the Insights engine dimension. What are those 3 drivers is the question. But let's go to it first. Okay, the question will appear for you, Stephen. We will phrase it a bit different than I said. Which of the 4 insights and analytics drivers below is not impacting customer centricity? Is it A, unlocking the power of data? Is it B, a leading role of insights and analytics? Is it C, doubling the size of the insights and analytics department? Or is it D, build critical capabilities? Over to you, Stephen.
Okay, so you're asking me basically the wrong answer, so not a driver.
That's right.
And although I really like the fact that doubling the size of the I&A department probably appeals to a lot of people in the audience and in our industry, I do think that's not the key solution to driving growth. So doubling the size, I'd go for C. All the others seem key to actually driving business growth. So I go for C.
You see quite confident about this?
Yes, I still am. We're still in the low money rank, so I'm still confident, yeah.
Let's look what the answer is, and you're right again. It's doubling the size of the Insights and Analytics department. You've earned already $200. And what we see over here, to go back to what we found in our study of Insights 2020, overperformers are scoring 2.8 times higher than underperformers in their leading role of I&A in their organization. Unlocking the power of data, they're twice as good as underperformers, and critical capabilities 1.6 times. But about those critical capabilities, that's what we're talking about now. What are those critical capabilities that are needed the most? And again, the question is asked in the same way. What is not a critical capability for insights and analytics people to drive customer centricity? Is it having a higher budget? Is it coming up with creative solutions, whole brain? Is it storytelling? Or is it business sense?
Critical capabilities. Yeah, when I listen to all the presentations here today and yesterday, I think things that are really important are being really whole brain, having solid business sense, and being able to translate it into compelling stories. And I don't think actually having a higher budget, although nice, is a real capability you can have. So I go for A. I go for A.
You go for answer A?
Yes, although I would like to double my budget here, but
that's not the case yet. We're playing for $300, and the right answer is answer A. Again, right, Stephen. So when we look at that, again, comparing overperformers with underperformers, overperformers are way better in answering key questions in a creative way. And as said, telling compelling and inspiring stories, overperformers are way better than underperformers as they are in their business acumen, business sense when making decisions. So up to the next question. We're now going to look at the flip side of the coin, because insights and analytics, are they able to get the right seat at the table? So in what business cycle meetings is insights and analytics playing a significant role? And we're playing here for $500. So the first question is, in what business cycle is insights and analytics involved the most? Is that in annual operating plan meetings, or long-term planning meetings, or C, monthly performance review meetings, or D, project update meetings? Stephen, over to you.
It's a hard one because the A and B seem to be very long term. So basically asking, is I&A involved in the long term, and the bottom ones are more the short term. And I'm not sure about what it would be. So I'm using my first lifeline if I can. So can I get a 50-50?
You can get a 50-50, yes. Nice. Let's see what happens.
Oh.
Oops, A and B are stripped out.
Okay, so that's the answer I was not hoping for. So I'll go for a wild guess that I&A still doesn't have a structural seat at the table. So I go for more the ad hoc one. I go for project updates, that they're invited there.
Okay, you go for project updates?
Yes.
So let's look what the answer is. And yes, it is project updates. So you've earned already $500. Let's look here. Where does I&A plays a significant role? And these numbers are quite dramatic. The percentage of insights and analytics people driving or owning a meeting that is allocated here in the graph is often less than 25% for overperformers, and for underperformers it's even 10% or less. So there's a lot to gain having insights and analytics, being part of these meetings, driving those meetings in becoming more customer-centric. So the biggest challenge then, Stephen, what's the biggest challenge to become more customer-centric and to reach more customer-centric growth? Let's go to the question. So the question is, what is seen as the #1 challenge to overcome to make better use of insights and analytics? Is that making sense of all data available? Is that internal silos and bureaucracy? Is that recruiting the right people? Or the last option, is that finding the right communication course?
Wow. They sound all like quite big challenges, at least from my perspective. And I do want to save my lifelines for the last question. Making sense of all data available, that already came up in other presentations as a big challenge, right? But still, I'm going to focus on the more old school challenge of busting internal silos and bureaucracy. That sounds like something a lot of people are struggling with.
Busting internal silos and bureaucracy. that's your answer, and that answer is right. So we're making good progress, and you see it over here. We have in this donut graph, on the outer donut, the underperformers, and in the inner donut, the overperformers. And we see that the dark blue, the silos and bureaucracy, is scoring highest of all challenges mentioned. So, Stephen and audience, have your smartphones ready right now. Open the URL pollef.com/insights2020. So POLLEV.com/insights2020. If you're asked, download app now or not now, please choose not now, and a new screen will appear. What should be the investment priority for insights and analytics in the next 5 years? And Stephen, you might have seen that we're jumping to the 1 million, and I see you're sweating a bit.
Thanks.
Hope that helps.
Appreciate that, yeah.
Hope that helps.
After this question, I'm going to be the guy driving that Ferrari, right?
Yeah, probably. Okay. We have more team building activities, so build a better team. We have hiring the right people. Answer C is a better information structure. And answer D is data sources and data quality. Stephen, your $1 million question.
Well, yeah, as Tom already gave it away, I really like your help. So if we can, if I can do my last lifeline and ask the audience and see what the audience thinks, then it would be great before I actually answer mine. Because I have an idea, but let's see what the audience says.
So you're entitled to. So let's ask for help from the audience. And you're still allowed to vote. If you haven't done yet, it will appear real time on the screen. Yeah, I see it. Oh, it's changing a bit. So a clear number, however, a clear number 1 and 2.
Okay.
Team building is running up. I think it's over to you, Stephen.
Well, I'm going to put my faith in the hands of research today. So I'm going to go with the audience and go for hiring the right people.
Hiring the right people is your answer?
It is.
You're 100% sure?
Yeah, I'm going for hiring the right people.
You're $1 million sure? Let's look at it. Your answer is answer B, and answer B is the right answer.
Nice.
Stephen, congratulations.
Thank you.
$1 million. Wow. Thank you for the big hand, by the way. Now it is investing in people. Again, here the donut slide. Now a different data cut. The outer donut are insights and analytics people we looked at, and the inner donut is the marketing people we looked at. And with the light blue color, the 35% and the 33%, it's a close finish, but hiring the right people is ranked highest as investment priority for the next 5 years. That brings us to the 5 key takeaways. The first one, as we saw, internal silos and bureaucracy is the biggest challenge to overcome in getting more customer-centric growth. The insights engine, the bottom of the triangle model, is driven by the 3 drivers as you see on the screen. Unlocking the power of data, a leading role of insights and analytics, and 3 critical capabilities. And those critical capabilities are creative solutions to key business questions, a whole brain approach, inspiring and compelling storytelling capabilities, and the last one is business sense. The 4th key takeaway is that only in 20 to 25% of all relevant business cycle meetings, insights and analytics is having a significant role by driving or owning the agenda. and that can increase a lot more to get customer-centric growth. And the last one, the $1 million question, hiring the right people is the most important investment area for the next 5 years. And remember, you are behind the steering wheel of making this happen. And it won't grow with the speed of light. It won't grow with the speed of a Formula 1 car. It needs attention. It needs time. What we said is, let it grow. And that's what it is, because then the credo of each and every market researcher today should be, today you're a researcher, tomorrow you can become a CEO and drive a Ferrari. We said, let it grow, but I would always also ask you, let us know. Let us know your key statement, your keyword about what you thought or your big learning from this presentation. Answer it in your smartphone. The question should appear now, and it will real-time appear on screen if everything works out fine. Thank you for your attention. We'll be here for a discussion session afterwards, and good luck with achieving your customer-centric growth.